Hi, it's Kate. It's been a while since I've been here on Facebook Live with you. It has been a different kind of time, not so much a Facebook Living time, but I'm back to my Facebook Living time, and I am honoring the season that I'm in, which is more of an outward season. Time to come talk to you. So today, I wanted to talk about this concept of work-life balance and why I think it's kind of BS and what to pursue instead. So hello for those who are joining in. I'm really happy to see you. And so we're talking about work-life balance. And I'd love to know from you, just as we're getting the conversation started, what does work-life balance mean to you? And, how does that show up in your life? How do you go after work-life balance, and how's that working for you? So let me know in the conversation, in the comments. And so I wanted to talk to you about why I think that work-life balance is kind of a total waste of your energy pursuing that, and what to do instead. So first of all, why is work-life balance a waste of time? Well, because to me, the idea of work-life balance creates a polarity, and it creates an automatic tension where you will always be failing, right? Because if there's an idea that there are two things and that you're trying to get them to be weighing equally, one of them is always going to be winning. Your work is sometimes going to be winning. Your life is sometimes going to be winning. Sometimes it's your kid's birthday party that week, so you miss a deadline, or like sometimes you've got a big project you're working on, so your kid is in daycare more days than other weeks. You're always going to, when you're pursuing work-life balance, there's sort of like this perfect ideal moment that you're striving for where the scales will be even. And you're going to achieve this balance one day. And to me, I wrote about this a while back, why I think balance is a myth, and this sort of like obsession we have with a balanced life. And to me, shooting for balance feels static. That's my own opinion. Some people really like the pursuit of balance. For me, balance feels static. It feels like a life that doesn't have movement. And so I believe that if we instead shoot for work-life integration, then we won't create this scenario where we feel like we're always coming up short. Does anyone agree with me on this? So just let me know. You can give a thumbs up, press the little heart button, or write in the comments. Have you ever thought about the difference between work-life balance versus work-life integration? And if you haven't, and this is new for you, I'd love to know. I see a lot of hearts coming in. Hello, hearts and thumbs up. Hello, little hearts. I'd love to know, what would work-life integration look like for you? What would that feel like to you? I posted this weekend about our babysitter canceled on Saturday, so we had to take Penelope with us to a USANA event, our lifestyle masterclass. And it was really fun to be able to integrate my daughter into my work life. And I do that a lot, to be perfectly honest. I bring her to our Friday morning Team Northrup coffee hours, and she sometimes shows up at my meetings. And to me, I love having her there. Now, not a lot, because she's 19 months old and she's incredibly distracting. But when appropriate, I like incorporating her, and I like being able to be a mom while I'm working and to work while I'm being a mom. Now, that doesn't mean I'm trying to do my entire workday with my daughter on my lap, because honestly, she hits all the keys and it's like incredibly distracting. So I'm not saying that, but the whole idea of work-life balance is assuming that you are two different people, or that there are these two totally different parts of your life that are battling it out at all times. Versus work-life integration is more like this, and it's more of a feeling of, okay, how can I better blend these two? How can I create more harmony between these two, as opposed to trying to balance them and chasing this perfectionistic dream that somehow, someday you're going to feel like, oh yes, I'm doing the perfect amount of life and I'm doing the perfect amount of work and I'm balancing them perfectly, because we're never going to get there. We're always going to feel like we're coming up short if we've got that separation. So the first step to sort of achieving work-life integration, or not even to achieving it, I don't like the word achievement with this particular conversation, but to, pursuing or even inviting work-life integration into your life would be simply a new mindset. So oftentimes, in order to change our reality, all we need to do is to invite a new reality. And a new reality is invited by thinking in a new way. So even knowing, for those of you who said that work-life integration is a new concept versus work-life balance, for those of you who said that that's new for you, just inviting, saying, okay, it might be possible to integrate my work and my life more versus separating the two. So that's one thing, is just simply a new mindset, inviting a new idea. So for you, I'd love to know in the comments, and I am not going to respond right away because I always find it really distracting to read the comments while I'm talking to you. So I will respond in writing later, but please write into the comments and let me know, what kind of steps could you take to integrate your life with your work more? For me, I'll just tell you really practically, I work with my husband. I am in a similar business as my mother. So I end up talking to them about business stuff a lot. We bring Penelope sometimes to business events when appropriate, when I have enough support with childcare, so I know I'm not going to be super distracted. So that works really beautifully for me. We host business events in our home. We are friends with a lot of the people we work with. A lot of the people we work with, we become friends with. I really love that. I mean, for me, I like being the same person, whether I'm speaking on stage, doing a Facebook Live, having a dinner party, or sitting, talking on the phone with my girlfriend. I like being the whole enchilada all the time, because it means I don't have to be trying to put on some kind of mask. I don't have my professional persona or my personal persona. I'm the same across the board. Although I will say this. This is a total aside. I really enjoy the fact that I actually have two names. So I'm Kate Northrup professionally, on the internet, and I'm Kate Watts when I'm being Penelope's mom or when I'm Mike's wife. So I will say I do like kind of having that more private identity. Not that I'm so famous that anyone would care, but it's it's a personal feeling that I like that. So anyway, that's neither here nor there, but I'm just sharing. Okay, so number one was to invite the mindset, the possibility that your work and your life could be more integrated as opposed to pursuing balance. Number two is own who you want to be unapologetically. What do I mean by that? I mean that if you want to work 1 day a week and be home with your kids 4 days a week, or 6 days a week, right? Because if there are 7 days in the week, that you own that and accept that and are proud of that, as opposed to apologizing. One thing I really am working hard to do, not hard, but I'm just, I'm paying attention to, is when I bring Penelope places, or when she ends up on a call because she pops in or whatever, is to not apologize for it. Because I am owning the kind of mom I want to be. And the kind of mom I want to be is that my daughter is integrated when she's not at daycare, that sometimes she's home when I'm doing business stuff. Sometimes she comes to meetings. Sometimes she's around, and sometimes I'm working while she's home. I like that because I like that she is, even at a very young age, seeing her mom being professionally fulfilled, being personally fulfilled, being creatively fulfilled. I know I'm a better mother because I'm pursuing my dreams. And also I know I'm a better businesswoman because I'm pursuing my mothering in a way that feels really good to me. So to me, that's integration, because the better it gets in one area of my life, the better it gets in another area of my life. I'm not constantly having this tug of war between, oh my God, is my work winning or is my life winning? This way with integration, everybody wins. every aspect of my life wins because it's all up leveling at the same time. So it's to own who you want to be unapologetically. So if you want to be a stay-at-home mom and not work, own it unapologetically, and stop feeling bad about, oh God, I'm not bringing home any money, or I'm not pursuing my professional goals. If you've chosen your situation, own it and stop apologizing for it. If you haven't chosen it and it's happened by default and you don't like it, do something to change it. So that's number 2. And then number 3 is to really share your enthusiasm for your work with your family, and share your enthusiasm for your family and your life in your work. Pretty simple. So for me, what does that look like? It means hosting potlucks for our USANA team at our home. It means being really okay with the fact that I talk about work with my husband and with my mom and with a lot of my friends, because a lot of my friends are also entrepreneurs. It means also being okay with, when Penelope's old enough, integrating her into the business in the way that it makes sense. Growing up, I would go to my mom's office and help her with filing. And I loved it, starting from the time that I could figure out the alphabet and figure out how to put the files in the right place and whatever. I would go in and she would be working and I would help her out with filing. I felt so empowered and I felt like I was playing Office. But in retrospect, now that I realize how annoying filing is to me right now, I realized I was actually really helping my mom out. So, and I have other friends who, they'll incorporate their kids by getting them to help them do mailings, or, helping them set up a booth at a trade fair, or, just sharing what turns them on about their business with their kids. And then also not being afraid to bring their family to the company picnic, or, that's kind of like a corporate example, but from a business perspective, in the way that feels comfortable to you. Some people really don't feel comfortable sharing their kids on social media or on the internet, and I really respect that. I do, kind of a dance with that myself, and everybody's really different in that category, and so I really respect that. But being really open about your lifestyle, I think, is a really powerful way to integrate your business and your life. So on social media, sharing your lifestyle, sharing the things about you that aren't related to your business, but that make you more of a full human, more of a fully rounded human being. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. And when you are a fully well-rounded human in full technicolor on the internet or in your business, people will be more likely to be customers of yours because they feel like they know you. Okay, so those are my thoughts on work-life integration and why to pursue that instead of work-life balance. Number 1 is to invite the possibility that your work and your life could be more integrated so they can stop fighting with each other. Number 2 is to unapologetically decide, what kind of business person you want to be, what kind of mother you want to be, what kind of wife you want to be, or spouse, or partner, or mother, or brother, or sister, or whatever, and then be unapologetic about it. Because it's in our apologizing for our choices that we devalue our choices, and we automatically devalue ourselves. But when we have consciously decided what we want, and then we are that, we just become that in the world, it's amazing the kind of support and resources we attract to ourselves when we stake our claim and say, you know what, I am choosing to be home 2 days a week with my daughter and 3 days a week working, and I'm proud of that choice, and I'm not apologizing, right? So that's number 2. And then number 3 is to look for ways that you can really integrate your family and your life. Can you ask your kids for help in some way in your business? Can you bring your kids to a work function? Can you talk more to your kids about your business so they're excited about it, enthusiastic about it? Can you share with them some of your goals and desires and enroll them in those dreams and desires and what they'll mean for them, so that when you do need to occasionally work and they see you working, they can understand why that is and what you're doing over there, so they don't just see it as mommy's being distracted, right? So these are some of the things to look at. And so thank you so much for tuning in. I'd love to know your thoughts about work-life integration and how you see that as different than work-life balance. If you're liking this conversation, if you're interested in this conversation, please come and join me. I'm teaching a free video workshop starting May 9th called the Sustainable Success Workshop. And you can learn everything about it and sign up over at sustainablesuccessworkshop.com. One of the concepts of sustainable success, which is working in a way that you can imagine working for years to come, is work-life integration as opposed to work-life separation. And I think work-life balance implies separation. So that concept will be part of the Sustainable Success Workshop. There will be more items in there, including how to reach peak productivity and why time management is a myth and what you need to be managing instead. So head over to sustainablesuccessworkshop.com and I will see you starting May 9th. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.